Hey everybody, it's Corey's Reviews. Alright, first, right out the gate, just want to apologize to everybody. It's been like 10 months since I put up a last review. I've been busy with stuff and it doesn't matter. Anyway, I'm going to have a lot more coming up, so thanks for staying tuned. This one's going to be short and sweet. Alright, the topic of the day is, should I get an entry-level DSLR, or more importantly, should you get the latest and greatest that just comes out to the market, or should you go back and get something that's, secondhand used for either cheaper or even less money that could come with a lot more options? We're going to look at a couple things. I made up my mind off my own personal experience. It might help you out, and we'll see. Let's dive right into it. Okay, so last year, you've seen a couple of my reviews. I have a bunch of gear for whatever reason. I got out of it. I sold pretty much all my gear. Really dumb mistake. Spring came around. I started getting hit up for some shoots. I wanted to do a lot of my own personal stuff, and all the gear was gone. And I mean, I got the fever bad, so I had to start buying up all this gear. Well, in my mind, I didn't want to go back because I wanted to see what else is out there. So I tried to go cheap. I ended up getting a Nikon D3100, another Nikon D5100, back to back. Basically, moral of the story is I didn't really like those entry-level DSLRs, even though I recommend them in some of my reviews. For me personally, using it for more advanced or enthusiast type work, you're going to want a more pro-style body. At least I did, and I'll go over a couple reasons why that's important to me. It's not going to be the same for everybody. Like I said in like some of my other reviews, those basic ones, the basic DSLRs that you start into, the entry levels are great for people just diving into the hobby and getting to know everything, because it has a lot of explanations in the menus to help you get you going. But you're gonna outgrow yourself fast, so basically what you might want to look into is more advanced camera and just crash coursing yourself and just learning it all, and then be stuck with a lot more professional body in the long run. It's really choice up to you, but I'll go over a couple things that you might want to look at, and maybe to help you out. All right, so this goes for all DSLRs. I'm just happen to be a Nikon shooter. I'm going to be throwing a lot of different Nikon bodies out there, but you can look up the sorts of your own brand and figure out kind of like, the models that you'd be using or interested in, just kind of follow along. All right, so back to my story. Got a couple entry levels. They were new and great at the time. They did okay, but out in the field, they kind of just didn't really do so well with me, because some of the most advanced features of a pro DSLR is a lot of the functionalities are on the exterior of the camera. Plus, it's a lot bigger and easier to use. And I was fumbling around with those little ones and having to search through the menus to get the settings that I wanted, and it just didn't work out when I'm actually on a shoot with somebody and time's taken away. I mean, I made it work, and you can always do that, but I mean, you're really getting a lot more convenience with, a better body. So let's take a look at what I'm really talking about. I don't have like the latest and greatest. Like I said, I sold those off. So let's take a look at a couple like pro bodies that I just happen to have laying around because I'm getting ready to sell them. I acquired these through some purchases and some other stuff, and I don't need these because I'm pretty much stuck on the body that I need, but I happen to come across these. But while I have them, let's do like a little quick review and show why having like a pro body like this would be a little bit better than, say, having a more amateur body like this. Okay, so this right here, let me get up all close so you can hear me. All right, so this is a Nikon D200. All right, so this came out a long time ago, but it doesn't matter because it's still good camera. I think this came out maybe 06, 07, like that. So like 5 years old, but I mean, the way these things are made, the whole body's made of metal, so it's made to last for a lifetime. The technology's getting, surpassed, but does that really mean that it's not a good body to pick up secondhand? I don't really think so, because even though I'm going to be selling this one, if I would have stumbled across this before I bought my current body, I probably would have kept this forever, because it's really got some nice functions to it. So let's go ahead and look That's going to be a little hard to see, but if you can see the back of this, let's go and compare. Now this is a D40. This is like my backup camera I just use for like fun and taking everywhere. But it's basically the same size as all your new ones that are coming out, the entry levels like I was saying. I mean, the new ones have, you know, say like video, higher ISO, a couple, you know, frills here and there. For the most part, I mean, just for this comparison, this is basically the same kind of body and the same kind of, you know, entry level that those are. So we're going to be comparing these side by side. This is a D40, this is a D200. These came out at the same time, but you know, it goes to show you exactly what you're paying for. So like here's on the back, look at all these buttons on the D200 that aren't present on here. You got all your menus on both sides, like right here and right here. But then on the D200, you have your most important things. You know, you got your auto focusing, you got a whole dedicated switch for that. You got a whole thumb wheel that's a lot more user-friendly than on the entry level. You got your matrix, you know, your exposure matrixing. You got your own button right up here. You know, and on top you got all these buttons for white balance, ISO, your image quality, and then a whole wheel so I can go through, you know, all my different shooting types. So that's all on the outside of the camera, and also you have your type of focusing style on the front of the camera versus your autofocusing modes. That's all while you're shooting. You know, you got up your face, you're actually making adjustments while you're on the fly, really quick. Because once you memorize everything, it's really easy to get to. And then something like a more entry level, you know, you don't have any buttons at all, really. You just have like, you know, your menu buttons over here and a couple that you can change over here. You got your dial up top to put what mode you're in, but everything else you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to go through right here and like go through your menu and figure out, you know, how you want to set it up. And if it's not set up from one shoot to the next, you're gonna be bumbling through all your settings. Or you could be out there, you know, getting the shot with something more like a pro body. All right, so let's wrap this video up. Basically, my point is, start looking at pro DSLRs before you just jump into a entry level, because even though they're a little bit intimidating because they have all the functionality to them, you know, they're built like tanks. They're built to last, and that you might find that as you progress, it's going to have a lot more usability to them than, say, the entry levels. And they're going a heck of a lot cheaper. Like this D200 I was just showing you right here, I'm probably going to start for like $350. The newest of Nikon, like the D3200, which is still the entry level, you know, you're walking in and it's still paying $700 to $800 brand new. The one that just came, you know, the last year's model, the 3100, is still the entry level. That's still going for like $350, $400. Cheaper is a D200 that's got all the pro advantages to it and none really of the disadvantages that you can't really work around. So it's just something to think about. Take a look at it. You know, if you got some people in the photography field, go ahead and play with maybe some of their bodies, see what you know, if they got different stuff than you. See if you like it or not, because, you know, once you get stuck putting a big investment on a body, you should probably keep it for a little while. Even just because new stuff comes out doesn't mean you have to go and buy it just because it's new. A lot of the old stuff works just fine because, again, like this D200, that was like $1,700 just 5 years ago. 5 years ago really isn't that long ago. That's a ton of money. That's tanked all the way down to, you know, just a few $100s. And, you know, they're going to last a lot longer than your entry-level ones. So just an idea. Maybe take a look at it. I'll get back to you on some other reviews about some other camera equipment and why it's better to go with a pro body than an entry level. And it actually is cheaper in the long run as well. So that's it for this review, Corey Reviews. And yeah, I'm going to start making more of these, so stay tuned. All right, bye.